Hey, hey, Nicola Light here. Remember us all back into our light, and with light we have shadow. This is the third video that I'm bringing into this playlist, which is holding the energy of entity attachment, shadow work, all that darker stuff. It was sort of asked by a couple of people on my Patreon to come forward with some information for them about sort of working through the shadow and what does that involve. The first video, go and check that out, which is about the evolution of the soul's journey into working into shadow, and then working onto the second video, which is more about the multi-dimensional aspect, which is all about the shadow within. This particular video today, the stay to the end because it always holds lots of codes within it, will hold the information about external sense of shadow. Now, this sort of shadow work is something that is a little bit more complicated with an influx of energy that comes from a collective field, whether it's from an individual or a wave of energy of consciousness. It not matters not a jot. It is how you perceive it to be stopping you from moving yourself forward. And with their own healing journey, we need to have this awareness of shadow so that we can then rise into our light to remember who we truly are. So I'm going to use my whiteboard as usual, just to sort of show a little bit of a diagram of how that sort of works so that we can understand it from a mind perspective. And you might have information from others, so align it, see how it filters through for you. Remember, it's my perspective of reality from my own experience, from my own journey of a sense of infiltration of my light from past now moments as I've moved through my shadow, seeing the light within me that holds a little bit more shady stuff within me, and then seeing into who I truly am by focusing on my light. So have a little look at those two other videos if you haven't done already. They hold quite a lot of information on there for this particular video. So what I want to do is bring in my board now. If we see ourselves within a box of reality and with the embodied state, we hold the light within. And around us holds every single other sense of entity that sits within different dimensions and different realities of the evolution of the soul's journey. So we may hold a perception of reality that sits within a box, within a box, within a box. The understanding of the reality of where we are focusing upon is we're going to focus upon self. Okay, that. This is I. That. And within our reality, we have a sense of a force field of light around us that we perceive the reality to be. But there is an extension within this reality that bleeds through into others around us. So we see these from side to side here as others, people, okay, influences, a collective sense of field. So we could say the collective sits here, of others within groups, of consciousness. Whoops. And here meaning others as in individuals, singularities, okay. This may come through as a sense of a relative, or it could come through as somebody that is not sending good vibes to you. Okay, so these are more individuals, these are collective. I thank you. This reality is of lower vibrational and understanding, and this is of a hierarchy understanding. So where we sit in vibration, there may be something of that is infiltrating your light from a higher vibration or a lower vibration. We're not looking at it from a sense of higher and lower within dimensions. We're looking at it from the intention that's set from another being that sits outside of yourself, an attachment that's going to come in, or an intention that's going to come in that's affecting your energy, that is suppressing your energy, that's siphoning off your energy when we're looking at doing our energy work of working through shadow. It doesn't mean to say that it's good or bad, it just is. There's a sense of infiltration of your light, and the more that we can keep more of a neutral state of mind about it, then the more is actually easier to work through, because you're not feeding the pulse of fear into that sense of outward force. So if we look at here, if there's a relative that's sending you bad vibes, then you're going to give the power to that being and let them drain their energy as it hooks into your system. Because the fear element is just going to pulse that energy through and it's going to drain your energy. Same with collective field. If you're going to give your attention to that, it's going to drain and hook into your system. And then within that, you're going to feel lower in vibration. So it's an external shadow that you're working through. Okay. Here you have, if you then allow yourself to tap into multi-dimensional aspects and have a little look at that video that I did on number 2, which is looking at different beings outside of yourself, which is perceived outside of yourself, but it is not. It's a group or a collective field of consciousness. And we can go into that in more detail, but we're going to sort of leave that in this particular video. And here we have the beautiful, I'm going to name it as the lower fourth. Now, the lower fourth entity attachment is the most sought after within this reality, to download the data, download the consciousness, download the fear into that realm of understanding. So if we look at entity attachments, it's more likely that it would be coming from the lower fourth. It's good fun, isn't it? So if it's not coming from inside of yourself that the shadow sits and resides, because it is you, okay, then it's going to come from an entity attachment that's outside of yourself in a different reality of time space. If you go into fear of thinking to yourself, am I going to go to an entity attachment? Then you're going to give that entity attachment a nice little goodie bag full of fear. How do we resolve that sense of shadow, you may say? Is that you strengthen your energetic field and you don't give away your power to it by placing any attachment into it, and you fortify your field of light. You upgrade your physical body alignment. You upgrade and strengthen the light within. There is where you become sovereign. There is where you become light. And you dissolve the fear within. You do not allow anything to infiltrate you by setting your intentions, by saying and commanding that I am the light, that I am presence of light. This lower fourth entity attachment has no understanding of how to create light. It can only siphon off light. So if you allow it to be siphoned off, then it's going to siphon it. So the only way you do is just go, well, I'm the light. I do not give permission for any entity attachment to siphon off my light. Thank you so much for the experience of it from a sense of duality, of density of all that is. I am the light I am. I state it. I claim back my sovereignty of light. I fortify my energetic field. There is where I play. I focus on my light. And then the entity attachment will literally go shrivel up and go like, oh, I can't cope, because there's no connection to it. If it's subconscious hell within you, there is a rite of passage of the journey to understand that there is one in the first place. That's the journey of the evolution of your healing journey, is to siphon, to see it siphoned off, is then to say no. If you've got somebody in your house that's wandering around and hiding underneath your bed and eating your food, and then you're sort of like, well, who's that in my house? I can hear it moving around. I can have a sense of this little person that's coming in and out. It's like having an infestation of rats in your loft. You hear them moving around at night, or little mices, and then you say, no, I'm not having it, can you go please? And then you just release them out of the system. You block up the hole and you just take them out and you let them go free and go wherever they got to go. But they don't go and reside in your loft. You say, no, thank you. This is my reality. I'm a creator of it. I hold my light. So entity attachment, off your pot, please. No, not having it. There is no way that I'm having it. If we're moving into alcohol and take in bottles of wine, then you're going to lower your energy into lower fourth, where the attachments could potentially come in and connect with you. That could be sustainable through alcohol abuse, is as a result of that you are not happy within your life and you're perpetuating cycles of exchange by connecting to the lower fourth entity attachment. What is it that you are doing that is stopping the detachment of it? Are you giving your power away to the entity that will then perpetuate a cycle of exchange? It's the awareness of all that is, that of shadow, but you don't give away your power to it. You just go like, I see you, you little pickle hiding underneath the bed or in the loft. I do not give you permission to steal my food from my fridge. Out you go. Out you go, little mices in the loft. Out you go. It's my sacred space. Do not allow it. To see that there is an entity attachment will send you into a propulsion of fear. But are you going to move through it smoothly by not giving your power away to it, by cursing it out? Or are you just going to gently just say, no, no? Evolutionary phases of your journey then you will see that there is some sort of siphoning of energy. You claim yourself back into the light. Okay? Da. Too much emphasis is placed within the human mind that perceives the reality of entity attachments and then therefore perpetuate cycles of exchange of an entity to be attached in the first place. It comes from this realm of understanding of the collective group of entity attachment, which sits here. It's a collective field that creates this consciousness that perpetuates this sense of entity attachments in the first place. So if we sustain the understanding of entity attachments, then it's in the collective field and of the dualistic experience. But the more of us actually rise into the understanding of that we are sovereign, the less impact entity attachments as a level of a group level of consciousness can infiltrate those of light. Simple physics. Is if we don't put our attention to it, it's not going to manifest. We're creator beings. But if those entity attachments are there to show you that there are other realms of reality, then so be it. You're supposed to see that there is an entity attachment because that's the dualistic experience. Do you see? So it's not like somebody's cursed you or somebody's done this to you. You only allow it if you allow it. With a curse, let's look at that. It is a force field of energy that sits within the reality. Let's just have a little look. So, if we think of things as being a sense of being, with having a sense of form about it, form comes from a lower fourth perspective, from a mind complexity. So we have mind, and from mind we then create. Okay, so if we look at the physical body box within the reality of which we sit, there's the physical body, there's the light that you are. Now if that attachment comes from the mind-body complex here of thought. Thought creates with word. Okay, so we are creators. And within this reality, if we send out a pulse of ill intent to an individual, such as curse, then we can then compound that energy, pulse that energy out into this force field of light, from your force field of light, which you are holding darkness. And within that creator being of darkness, you can then place in a curse. If this force field of energy holds a matching sense of darkness within, if it does not and holds a light around that light and fortification, amplification of the light, this curse is null and void. You cannot curse a being that is holding sovereignty of light. You cannot infiltrate through that illusion of darkness from another's thought form. No, can't be done. As soon as you buy into the perspective and resonance of energy of that consciousness that you can, it will. Cultures, religions, collective field can place a collective force field of energy to send peace. Same thing. Send darkness, send peace. When we come together and we hold our light together, the amplification of our light enables us to really perpetuate that cycle of exchange and allows us to then evolve into seeing the light that we are. But until that moment, we're not going to perpetuate that light and have the experience of it. So curses are, again, if you do not allow, then it will not infiltrate. The more that you hold a higher vibration of light, you have an understanding of who am I through the sovereignty of all that you are, will enable you then to hold the light that you are. You dissolve the curses, the cause, the contracts, the entity attachments. It is only through your pure knowing of self that you can then identify with the light. We've seen the shadow within. We've not allowing any entity attachment to affect you at all. It goes into and beyond the mind. It goes into the quantum field, into the soul level of understanding. It is the downloading of the data, the higher levels of consciousness, the connection to all that you are of the light that enables you to hold the light. Otherwise, the shadow will then start to be seen by sharing your light. You will start to see the mirror within, the cycle, the pattern, the deepening of shadow. You have to go, just a second. Oh, yeah. Here we go. You have to go higher and lower at the same time. Okay. Linear timeline, standing upon the earth. To go higher in vibration, you have to go deeper into your shadow. It's the only way you can go higher. It's the only way. It's the only way that you slim it right down into the embodied state, through the feet, through the hands, through the breath, through the embodied state into the base, that you are going to hold your light. That is where you ignite your inner light wisdom. Okay? The practical wiser things of how do you get your body into that is I hold that in my 8 program. And you can check out on my website a playlist of content that can be sent to you through me, that you can access all of the data. If you want to work with me one-to-one, there's also a mentoring where you can work through the 8 steps with me one-to-one, or you can have the playlist as well as just booking in a couple of sessions with me. Have a little check out of that, and I can send you and email you all of the information which is held within that program. And I'm also writing a book which will then also be part of that program, and can be looked at your leisure once that's actually done, which should be here by the end of the year. Okay. It is important to hold your light, to see who you are not. You are not these entity attachments. If it is coming from a primary perspective and you need some assistance, I'm here. This is the work that I do. If you want to plug it into higher levels of consciousness, it's the work that I do. I hold the codes for it. I hold that light within and I ignite my wisdom through my own codex, my own healing journey to assist others. It's part of my mission here. So know I am available if you want to connect with me. It's nicolalight.com. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I really do enjoy making this content. It allows me to have a deeper understanding of it. So as I get that deeper understanding of it, I present it out. And if you align to it, fabuloso. If you don't, then you're not ready for this type of work yet. That word is amazing. I love the word yet. It shows a next step forward on with our journey. So if you're not getting it yet, don't worry about it. Okay? Step by step, journey by journey, we walk. Get a firm foundation of this information. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, everybody. Like and subscribe. Wah, 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 wah. And yeah, check out all the other videos. Join me on Patreon. So much to do. Have a little look at my Udemy course if you've evolved into your Ignition of Light codes. There's so much information out there. Okay, if it's not through me, somebody else. Or bring it in yourself by meditation. Okay. Ask a question, you'll get the answer from inside. Okay, don't give your power away. Sending all my love. Well, see you all soon. Bye-bye.